This is July 14th, and this is Good Morning Santa Paula. And I'm Peggy Kelly, and I'm talking today with John Marquez, who's the Executive Director of the Santa Paula Chamber of Commerce. Just yesterday, Governor Gavin Newsom announced another shutdown in California due to the COVID-19 pandemic. And I know John's been working very hard with the business community, so let's just jump right in and ask him. Number one, how are you doing, John? How are you doing, kid?
Good, Peggy. How are you doing?
Good. Very trying times.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So, do you want to give us a synopsis of what's happened yesterday, as far as what the action that was taken?
Well, the governor came in with some new orders yesterday, kind of taking a step back from where we've been with the reclosing of our hair salons, barber shops, tattoo parlors, gyms, mostly for indoor operations. So, amongst some other things going on. So what we've been doing is working with our businesses here to try and see what we can do to help them to kind of adjust a little bit as far as to keep their business going.
Yes.
Some businesses can't operate outdoors. We know that. It's just not going to work. So what we're trying to do is just see how we can maybe work with the city and the county. Hopefully some things will let up a little bit and we can work with them. But we're staying in contact with them, communicating with them, providing them information, because they're all asking for help right now as far as what do we do. Everything that's been presented to the state is pretty vague right now, and we're trying to get more details. And the county's working on that with the city. So we hopefully in the next few days we'll get a little more definition of what we need to do, because in a community like ours, we're mainly small businesses, and there's a lot of it's a gray area right now for them as far as what they need to do, how they need to do it, and they're just looking for some guidance. So we're trying to provide them as much information as possible, just to make sure they're in the going in the right direction. And they're all kind of in survival mode right now. And,
yeah, absolutely. Well, with some of them, they've just been opening up. As far as like with the restaurants, they were able to have limited indoor dining. Now, of course, we're in the area where they shut that off a week and a half ago. So now we have to, we all have to be outdoor dining. But we've had plenty of them that have been gearing up and working with the chamber and working with the city to be able to allow outdoor dining, which I think is great. It's a real spirit of cooperation.
Yeah, and a lot of the restaurants have gotten very creative as far as how to do this. You look at a place like El Capriccio that started putting their outdoor dining on their alleyway on weekends, doing stuff like that. Rabelais pulled more stuff out on the sidewalk, and
yes, I saw that.
La Cabana took their entrance plaza, and created a whole new space there. So a lot of the restaurants are getting very creative. It's costing them a little bit more money, but they're doing what they have to do to survive, like most small businesses. So they're doing a great job. The city's been very cooperative in helping them. Giving them some suggestions to follow the guidelines that would still work and be safe. So what I've seen over the last week or two is the city's been actively walking downtown. They've been visiting all the businesses, and they've been talking to them and trying to help them any way possible to keep them going. So kudos to the city for what they've been doing, and we've been out there over the last 3 or 4 weeks working with all the businesses as well. Yeah.
Now, I guess the ones that are really going to hurt. Now, there is no time frame at this point, or no deadline as far as when the governor is going to lift this latest order. At this point, I mean, it's just kind of indefinite as far as, because I know before they had one where it was like, well, maybe 3 weeks, and that's what they first did with the dining indoor was, we'll do it for 3 weeks. But I guess this time he has not said anything about a time frame. I think it's probably going to depend upon what's going on with the COVID-19 pandemic, because that's why we're all here, and this is all resulting from it. And I know that the numbers have been going up statewide, and even in Santa Paula, we were talking earlier, they've really gotten troublesome. We've had 97 cases diagnosed in the last 14 days in Santa Paula alone. So people still have to be careful, But the good news is I've noticed so many people when they have been visiting the businesses, they are careful. They are wearing their face coverings. They are social distancing. The businesses are very gently reminding people that aren't doing these things that they must do these. And so it's really if you take care of yourself, you're taking care of others, and you can go out and shop if you need things.
Yeah, and it's been very encouraging to see the businesses doing this. And we've gone out there with the chamber. I've had a group of people that have been working with me. We've gone out and tried to get them all the materials they need to stay safe. We've offered them suggestions on how to set up their business too, because we have a lot of businesses that just didn't get a lot of the information from the county. So we were in there talking with them, and we were showing them, giving them some ideas on how to set up their business. And like I said, we provided them county materials and everything they needed, and they've been really good as well with them about making sure that they have the proper protocols in place. So, I mean, I think most of our business community have been really good about doing this, and a lot of our citizens are respecting what their setup is. I don't think we've had any issues with anybody, and for the most part, our community is doing really well. I mean, that's within our community. We can't control what else happens elsewhere, but we're only doing what we can do, and I think we've done a good job overall. And the city's been very cooperative, working with us, working with the businesses. So we're all trying to collectively work together to survive this whole pandemic that's going on. And then we're coming up with different ideas on how to promote our community as well, to get people to continue to shop downtown, to continue to shop local, continue to frequent the restaurants. So we're doing what we can right now, considering everything that's around us.
Absolutely. And we've got so many shops in Santa Paula and in the downtown and all over town actually. But in the downtown, we've got the cluster of the restaurants, and they've got the outdoor seating. People can do that. We've got wonderful little, I happen to love like dollar stores and 99-cent stores. They are so much fun. We've got beautiful antique stores. We've got just all sorts of fun things in the downtown. And if people go out and do these things in moderation, it goes a long way.
Yeah, and most of the owners that I've spent the last couple of weeks talking to a lot of them, and they're trying. They're really appreciative of people coming in and supporting them, and they're doing what they can do. And they're great people. I mean, we have a great downtown. I mean, a lot of great people that are running our businesses. And we need to help support them, and not just downtown. I mean, in general, everywhere in our community. And so we just.
1 second. I'm sorry. How embarrassing. Hey, got to have a fan. That's my fan base falling apart.
Oh my God.
That's showbiz.
Oh well, I'm still your fan, Peggy. So yeah.
Yeah, but really, I'm glad to see you laugh. That's what we have to do. We need more laughter. I know you had some wonderful, wonderful things in store for the downtown. I know you've been talking about a rummage sale in the downtown, which is a fabulous idea. And I'm sure you're going to go ahead with these plans when they're able to do that.
Yeah, we're still working on it. We're actually working on something to partner with the city of Fillmore to try and help elevate our whole valley. That works. We had it scheduled for the first part of August, but because of everything that's happened, we're pushing it back a little bit. But in the meantime, we're going to continue to promote our local businesses here, trying to come up with new creative ideas on how to help promote as best we can. We've got some, the thing about right now what's going on, even with everything, we still have businesses that are opening up in our community.
Yes, I know, that's wonderful.
It's getting close. We just had a new store that opened next to Rabelais, so they just opened up over the last week. So
what is that? What kind of a store is that? Is that general merchandise, or I saw a sign in there?
Yeah, general needs company, whatever, and they have a little bit of everything. It's kind of like a dollar store. I met the gentleman that owns it, really nice gentleman, and he really wants to help the community. And it's a huge store, so the social distancing is perfect in that big building, But he and I thanked him for starting a business in during this time. I mean, that's really, it takes a lot of guts to try and do something right now,
Yeah,
with everything that's
absolutely.
going
Bless
on,
his heart.
and it's a
Mhm.
risk, but he's willing to do it. He sees a need for our community. So, like I said, you have Anna Sider, the same thing. They're trying to do something. So we have to, in turn, support them as much as possible. So I've been in contact with all of them. I've been, finding out what their needs are, and then contacting the city and see how we can work together to get them open, and support them as much as possible. I'm looking at doing some creative grand openings with them too. Maybe from across the street or something, we can do something. We'll
Oh,
figure out
that
some
would
kind
be fun. A drive-by grand opening.
we
Yeah.
might do. So we're looking at doing some fun, creative ways to do this. The chamber's just had 6 brand new members over the last 2 weeks, so which is good. So they've joined. They see the need to have some additional support and whatever they needed, and we spent a good amount of time with each business. So we probably spent about 150 hours over 3 weeks between 3 of us going out there and talking to businesses.
That's wonderful. And one of the people that was with you was also somebody from the city, wasn't it? I mean,
yes,
so
both individuals work part-time for me for the city, and they work part-time with me here. So they're very familiar with our community, and so I figured I'd have them come in because they are known in the community, and they both speak English and Spanish, so it could help our Latino businesses too. So
absolutely.
So my goal was to provide them information in both Spanish and English, which we did, and guide them on the website, and the county website in Spanish and English too. And we've been very we've had a lot of good responses from our businesses. They appreciate that what we're trying to help them, and they don't have to be business members. We're in a point right now with the chamber. It's not about just our chamber members. It's about our entire community. So we're helping.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. I knew that you guys were reaching out to everyone, whether or not they're a member, and I think that's really admirable.
Yeah, it's more of helping our community grow. And and out of that, doing that, we got 6 new members because they liked what we were doing. So it's a different approach than most chambers, but I feel there's more of a need to support our community at this point. It's not about what I do or what the chamber does. It's about supporting our community as a whole. So that's what our goal is right now, and we're going to continue that for the rest of the year. So we're trying to come up with some things to help them on top of that. We have a brand new website that's coming out probably within the next week. The chamber's got a new website.
Oh, okay, great.
We're going to do some creative new things on our website. We're going to have some promotional opportunities for our businesses. So, in fact, after I'm done here, I'm going to contact them and start finalizing and get ready to upload. So we've been working for the last 4 months on this thing, and we're finally just about there. So So once we have that launched, there's going to be a lot of good advertising opportunities for our businesses. That's included as part of their membership.
Sure,
so
of course.
We're creating some extra value for our members here.
Oh, absolutely. Now, also, speaking of community, the community's growing too because they are selling homes at the Harvest at Limoneira and other places, and that's great news. So, I mean, that's the irony of it is people haven't stopped buying homes because of the pandemic. They're taking advantage, I guess, of the low interest rates and the wonderful bargains we have out here.
Yeah. And I guess we've had over 100 homes sold out there at this point, so maybe more than that, which is great. So now my goal is to get them the information to shop local, and so we're working on, we're coming up with some new ideas, maybe a welcome basket for our new homeowners, some creative things we're coming up with right now, just to remind people of what great businesses we have in our community. So that's. Yeah, so all throughout.
Become a part of the community. They've got to get out of their houses and come to the downtown and come into the city and meet the people because that's our biggest attraction is our people.
Yeah, so we're going to continue to come up with different things and hopefully if this continues, we're still we'll still find ways to create new opportunities within the communities. I'm very optimistic about all that. So.
That's wonderful. So anything else you want to say, John? We've got to wrap it up. Any parting thoughts or words of wisdom or actually words of encouragement? Let's hear some words of encouragement from our executive director of our chamber.
Yeah, I just ask the community to continue to support our businesses, but respect what protocols they have in place. Bring your mask, practice social distancing, but really have fun with what's going on in our community. Downtown's a great place to be, and let's just make sure when we're down there, enjoy the place. We have a great new art alley. There's a lot of great things out there, but please practice your social distancing. Continue to support our community. The art's got a lot of, the museums have a lot of great online things.
Yes, we do.
Online there's a lot of different things out there that we can do to support our community. Buy a gift card. I mean, that's always a great thing to do too. But I just encourage our citizens to continue to help support our community, even though they tell you not to go out. I mean, it doesn't hurt to walk downtown. I mean, I think outside. So that's all I can ask of our community right now, and hopefully this ends sooner than later.
Yes, absolutely. Well, I concur with that. That's for sure. Well,
and
John,
also,
thank you so much.
Yeah.
Anything else?
No, I was going to say, and also, we got to fix your fan. So.
Oh yeah, my fan base, my eroding fan base.
Gotta get your fan base. There you go.
Thank you so much, John. It's really great seeing you, and keep up the good work. I know it's troublesome because you're right in the thick of it, and I'm sure you'll have some updates for us, and we'll get together for those. Okay.
Sure.
And thank you
Anytime.
so much. Once again, I'm Peggy Kelly. This is Good Morning Santa Paula. I'm the editor and everything else for the Mighty Santa Paula Times with John Marquez, who is our Santa Paula Chamber of Commerce Executive Director, and we thank him so much for joining us today. Don't forget, visit kadytv.net and be sure to subscribe, and you'll be able to watch all the videos we've been having with our city leaders and community leaders and elected officials, and we want to keep you informed. That's our goal. So anyway, thank you so much. Just by watching this, you know more, so keep that in mind. Thank you so much.